Hello? Uh-oh. I'm not seeing a video capture. Hang on. Input. Video. Settings. Arium webcam. Arium webcam. Close. All right. Waiting for your connection. To use... let's open that again. How do I connect this? Good morning. I know you can't see anything yet. I am trying. Let me see. Lock. Unlock and stream. All right. This is a call to my IT guy. Hang on. We'll get started in just a minute. It's running on. Oh. So I can't get on right now. Like, no, I can't. I mean, my device is selected Arium webcam, but it doesn't. I'm talking into the phone. I don't know what you want me to do. Just the downstairs home phone. No, you're not on speaker. So it's not showing the webcam isn't connected, and I have video capture device selected. Oh, I didn't know I had to do that. Okay. Hang on. Okay, I think I got it now. Okay. I think I'm good. Bye. Okay, I think we got it, right? Everyone can see now? Had to call my IT guy. He's out on a walk with the dogs. And we are ready to get started. Sorry about that. I thought I could do this. I saw him. He was walking the dogs and I was pulling in, coming back from my doctor's appointment. And I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But we did. So here we are. Okay. We are going to get started. We're doing section 2, or at least I'm doing section 2. You can do whatever you want. I mean, I saw that April finished her whole front. So, I was impressed and jealous at the same time. But we're going to start here just with everything around me. And I was hoping to work on the, this part, the square one and stripes, and I never got around to it. Yesterday I sat and I worked on the instructions for the summer garden tea towel class that we're going to be doing in IQ, and I finished all my instructions for that, but it was 17-page of instructions with color pictures that I did lots of screenshots. So that kind of took up all my time. So I'm going to just look. So I need the little magnets up here. This is my 7x12 magnetic hoop, and I really, really love it. I'm kind of obsessed with this one in the 5x7. Those magnets are super strong. I'm just going to smooth this out and then put the ones down on the bottom, and then we'll get started. Good morning. Good morning. And big ones on the side. And it's nice to have a little bit of extra fabric that you can kind of pull over. I was doing it before with like fabric that was barely big enough. I went into panic because I was going to do some embroidery and for this, and I didn't have a, oops, that was down low. I didn't have any muslin. I was like, are you kidding me? Whoop, hang on. Let me pull it back here. There we go. Okay, I'm hooped and ready to go. Let me take this over to the machine. Take it over. Hopefully I'm ready in every other way. Let me grab my fabric out. Stacked books. This should be the black piece. This is all of section 2, I think. I just put it all in one because there's so much. And these are section 2 that we've already done. These were pre-quilted. We did this in Sew Along 1 so that everything would be all set. And I think all we need for everything around me is going to be this black piece with your piece of batting. And let me grab my goodies so I can reach them easily. And let's go ahead and get started. Miss Susan, are you all done? I know you had been, I think you'd almost been done with the whole thing and you were working maybe on embellishments. I could be wrong. My noggin makes things up. Oh my goodness. Can I tell you what happened yesterday? Let me go embroidery, pocket, and I sent out this spreadsheet again last night just for in case you hadn't gotten it yet. We're going to put in floral 8 and it's 6 by 8. I did have somebody ask before because they were looking for what I saw. And background quilting, you do have to buy that separately directly from Kimberbell. I know they get you. And I keep going, I'm not going to buy that background quilting. And then it's so darn cute, I have to get it. And we are doing Quilting Through the Seasons, background quilting. I have an instructor bundle. So when I buy it, my stuff comes all together. What are we doing here? Floral 8. Floral 8 is right here. And we're doing 6 by 8 is the size that we're selecting. 6 by 8. I'm going to go ahead and set it. And let's choose the hoop size. I always like doing that because I like knowing how much space I have to move up my design. I'm using my 7 by 12 hoop, so I'm going to select that. Say okay. And now I know exactly how much room I have, and I'm going to bump this up to save some of that muslin. We're loading the design, and now let's go ahead and add, that's our background quilting, and now we're going to add the design. I moved my little USB port thing to the upper, and this is what I use. I have this plugged into one of my ports on the side, and then I can just go ahead and put them in here and turn these on and off. That way I'm not putting a USB, register machine. Do you want to go register? I do want to do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. So I'm going to get rid of that. Make sure that if you have a machine that goes on the network, that you go ahead and put it on the network. What is happening here? Okay. Seems like every class, my thing locks up. It could have to do with that little messagey thing that I just got. Sorry. And you do have to slide your hoop off. So I just slid my hoop off. Wow, Miss Susan, does that mean that you did spring and summer too? And all that you're left to do is finish up fall and winter? I'm jealous. Okay. Quilting Through the Seasons, background, floral, embroidery. And there's my 6 by 8 set. And now let's go back. We're going to add. I'm in my upper USB. And now I'm going to choose my design. That's my regular PS file. And I named it that. I think I named it that. We're doing the base quilt. And I am looking for the design that says everything around me. Where is it? I think this is it, right there. And I think it's centered. I put that in your spreadsheet, so it's going to be centered. So you're not going to move it. I'm going to go ahead and go to embroidery. That's going to combine those two designs so I can move them together in this screen. I'm going to touch move, and I'm just going to scoot it up. And that way, whoops, did you see it went outside of my embroidery field? So I'm going to just hit the little dot. That'll recenter it. And let me slide my hoop on, and then that won't happen. Once your hoop is on, it doesn't allow it to move outside of the embroidery field. So I'm moving it up, and you'll hear a knock knock because it's as high as it can go. All right, let's get stitching. So first thing that we're going to do is, quilting's going to be in black, but I am going to, let me see, I'm going to pick a color that we can see. I'll go ahead and do pink. This is Pink Lemonade. Go ahead and thread her up. I didn't even look at my bobbin, but I think I had a little bit of a bobbin in there from before. Look at that. I just noticed that that kind of moved a little bit. I can't imagine how that got loose, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. This screwdriver is made perfectly for this screw right here. And it is not like me to not, I don't know if I can fit it. I'm going to let it stitch just the tiniest bit, and then I'll go ahead and tighten that up. So I can get my screwdriver. I hand tighten, and then I'll tighten with this screwdriver with this. And you don't want to crank it down, but just a little bit, so it doesn't shake off like that. I was shocked to see that. Wiggle. Here we go now. Okay, while it's doing this, I want you to get your batting and your background fabric. We're going to give it a little shot of spray. I use my dime spray tent. This is my little dime spray tent. And I am a KK Gnold kind of girl. And you don't have to go crazy with this spray. I don't know if any of you are watching the, I was watching the, that documentary on Hulu with, and just fit it right in there, with Bon Jovi, because that takes me back to like, to the day, right? I think he was like, it was the 90s. He was so popular. I love Bon Jovi. Okay, and then your background fabric too. And I'm just centering it. I'm feeling for the batting underneath. And once you feel it, you can kind of press it down. And I'm going to leave that pink in there, but I am going to skip some steps. So I'm going to go, okay, to get out of here, this is the button that you want where you go forward and backward stitches. We're going to skip that because that's the tack down for the batting. We cut it to size. That is your background placement line. And that's the tack down for the background fabric. And again, I like to do a contrasting color. That's why I'm doing the pink, because it'll be easier to fussy cut when we go to trim. I do love this hoop, Amy. It could be a little splurge. We'll do another. I think we sold out of them. We just sold our last one. But we'll do another brother deal right around the launch of the product, so it'll be in August. So if you want to get one of these, I think we did it for, you know what, I can't remember, so I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to give you the wrong information. But we gave a great deal. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in the black. If you look at your screen, you can see that it's going to do the background quilting now. If you don't see that, you need to get there. That's how I catch myself. Half the time I catch myself because you guys tell me. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And half the time I catch myself because I look at the screen and I go, wait a minute. That's not what I thought I was going to be stitching. And here we go. April, what are you working on? Are you doing embellishments? I mean, right? Like, look at how beautiful that is. If you are seeing pin dotting with the white, change your bobbin to match. Sometimes you just get that. I'm pretty good, I don't think. I've got all those layers, and so I'm not really seeing it. But if you feel like you're seeing it, stop your machine and just throw in a matching bobbin. It's okay to do that sometimes. It's not your machine having tension issues. Sometimes it's just the pin dot from the needle. What's everyone working on this morning? So yesterday, I was trying to do some work, and I have a long arm with a big roll of batting on the bottom. Poppy likes to go under my to a couch, and she likes to play under there and lay under there. So I heard all this noise, like, because there's a big plastic wrap around the batting, and I thought she was just, you know, just playing. Little did I know, she had chewed a hole through the batting bag and was taking mouthfuls of batting, ripping it off and spitting it out and ripping off more. I grabbed her by the scruff and threw her out of the room. I was so mad. But every time she does something like that, I look and I'm like, that must have been so much fun for her. Just grabbing mouthfuls and ripping it off and spitting it out. Well, Brenda, I'll keep you company while you do your chores. So the fall large panel. Oh, okay. I think that's one of the embellishments. Right, Miss Susan? Susan, you must have just loved making it if you're ready to do another. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention. This one's super easy. All we're gonna do is after we finish the quilting, we're gonna put white in, and then we're gonna be doing all of that lettering right there. So just get your white ready. Yes, Susan, it was like it was a giant toy. She's just grabbing it. There is like batting all. I was really, really thankful because she chewed, you know, I have a roll that's 96 inches. And so there's an end that's folded. And then there's like, I guess the selvage end on one side. And that's the side that she was ripping off, was the like selvagey end. So it wasn't, at least she wasn't putting like a hole in the very center of the 96-inch batting. I would have been so mad. My manservant isn't here. I had to make my own bagel with tomato and lemon pepper. So rude. I'm gonna have to have a talk with him about my expectations. I have a giant spool of white glide. It just lives on top of my machine. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. Let's put in your white, and we've got 15 minutes of stitching. And my sewing room is a mess. So I think I need to, maybe I'll try and clean up a little bit while it's stitching this. Hopefully you won't be too bored. And here we go. After we do this block, we're going to do stacked books. Let me look at stacked books. Stacked books is on page 24. Whoop. Not sure what happened there. Let me just go ahead and rethread the upper. And I'm going to check the bobbin area too. Might as well. When in doubt, just rethread. And rethread upper and lower, because sometimes people just keep rethreading. Oh, what was that? Was that just that was just the apostrophe. I might have to go back and do that. Sometimes people just keep rethreading the upper or rethreading the lower. So just rethread it all. I'm going to grab everything I need for stacked books. The only thing I don't have pulled out is, I think, the twine. So let me grab the twine too from the embellishment kit. And so you're going to want the little baker's twine, right there, that little baker's twine. And it says you need 24 inches, and usually it's cut to size. I swear, Poppy she looks for trouble. Like, Momo is the best little boy. Like, he doesn't do... I'm trying to think if he destroyed anything. Like, he'll destroy a stuffed animal or something. But, I mean, Poppy has chewed on our wood stairs, floorboards, the molding by the front door. I mean, so many socks, shoes. And Momo, you know, he literally will tattle on her. When he sees her doing bad stuff, he'll bark to get our attention. Because he knows right from wrong. So does she. She just thinks it's so much fun. And, like, if she's bored, she will literally go and look for something that she can destroy. She's so bad. I told Patrick, I was like, I think we got a lemon. But I'll be darned if she isn't the cutest thing you've ever seen. And she's so loving. It's the only reason we put up with her. This little guy, I'm wondering if I have to redo him. Oh, I think he'll be okay. Linda, take it out. If you have this, okay, so there's two different ones. This one here, this is the 7x12 with like the little magnets. There is also the 7x14 with the big magnets. Where's mine? This is, if you were just doing regular embroidery, this is the one that I would use because the magnets are fairly easy to get off. The 7x14, I would use that if you're doing sashing. And we need to do that with that hoop because I'll do it with this one. We're going to experiment with this quilt because you can just grab, like take off all your magnets, like you would leave the top, would you leave the top ones on? I think you leave the top ones on, right? And you would remove these other ones and then you just grab it and slide it down. And so everything stays right in place because I know I struggle with that when I'm doing my borders. So I'm going to be using that sash and hoop. I'm going to just pull this a little longer. Maybe it didn't catch because of that. Let me go back. So I'm going to go back. I thought it was on the next letter. Let's see. Or maybe it's doing the very end of that letter. Like a little dip-de-doo. There we go. I know I keep telling you I need to take my machine to get it serviced. And I haven't. Because I've just not wanted to give it up. I was using it this weekend to finish up that class and finish up all my notes. And so I needed it. What I would love is, I would love if they had like Pro Stitcher. You can put that on, and that's the quilting program for the baby locks and the handy quilters. You can put that on your computer. So you could like plan something out. I wish they had Design Center on the computer, and then I could just, you know, plan classes that way. It would be great. Yeah, this one is really, really pretty, Linda. And it says, I'm going to make everything around me beautiful, and that will be, what does it say? I'm going to make everything around me beautiful, and that will be my life. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could do that. That for me is, I try, but that's more of that's a Lynn Geldmeyer thing. Because everything, I don't know if you follow Lynn, but she's an incredible cook, gardener, has beautiful flowers, embroidery is awesome. Hi, Lynn. I'm one of those people, I'm not very good at that. Making things around me beautiful. Maybe someday. But even when I was a stay-at-home mom, I still wasn't good at that. Right now, I'd say I don't have time. But even when I had more time, it's not my forte. It's a gift. I think Katharina has that gift too. because I don't know if you saw her little area where she hung up her panel, and then she had a bench, and then everything looked just beautiful and perfect. That's sweet, Liv. So cute. We're probably about a third of the way through. And then for the next hooping, I am going to be doing stacked books in the 5x7. Might as well hoop up for that. Let's go and hoop. Last week, I was so not prepared because I didn't realize that I was out of muslin. And so I was using, I don't like using stuff that's not cut right. So the pieces, the rolls that I was using were too wide because I just can't help it. The waste. And it's in my DNA. So, I mean, I'm sure part of it is nurtured too, because my mom was like that too, but my kids are like that, especially Kai. Kai doesn't like things like urban sprawl, and he only has enough clothing for what he needs. Like, he's the type of kid that has literally he'll have like 7 pairs of pants, and he doesn't want any more because he's like, I don't need it. He doesn't like consumerism, which is very different for me because I love clothing. I do. I love it. But he wants to do civil engineering around sustainability, which I love that he's like that. But I do love shopping for my kids, and they always say no to stuff. Hi.
Hey.
Okay, we're hooped for our 5x7. And you're going to be doing stacked books. I think a lot of kids are like that. Well, I don't know, maybe it's because it's my kids. I think a lot of kids are like that these days. They love thrifting, and here's my stacked books with my twine. And I just got a little beep on my machine. For some reason, it didn't like that. Came unthreaded. I keep forgetting that I'm going to take this in for service until I'm working with you guys. And then that's when I remember. Let's try that. Do you ever piece together stabilizer for hooping? Um, Susan, I used to. Like, I still have pieces in my stash that, like, I would take my, my dissolve away stabilizer or stuff like. So the answer is yes. When I had more time, like these days, I just don't have the time. So I just use what I use and throw away the rest. And I try to hoop the way that I'm hooping by leaving it on the bolt or leaving it on the roll because it conserves stabilizer or muslin. So I do that. I rarely piece it together anymore. I bet I have a big piece here. I'll show you. I pulled out a piece the other day and I was like, oh look, I sewed that together. Oh, here. I have proof. Yeah, I took all, you know what, I think I had long strips. So this is probably cut down. And I probably had long strips and I sewed them all together. And I was like, oh, I can do hooping with this. But, I mean, look how much time that took. And look at these itty bitty pieces that I... So, yes, if I had more time, I would do it. It literally hurts me. Okay, I'm really sorry. I promise I will take this week and go get it serviced. It literally hurts my soul to throw things in the trash can. That's why I'm a hoarder. Especially like plastic. I like just the idea that so today when I went to radiation, like, cause when you go in, they ask you, do you want a warm blanket? And like, I like the warm blanket because, you know, it keeps me warm. Like, you're in my situation, you know, I'm topless, so it gets cold in there. So I'm like, I like the warm blanket. And then you get your robe that you put on, and I wear it for what, 15 minutes while they do everything, and that's it. And then I know they grab all of that and they throw it in the laundry. And I'm like, oh, that's one more thing that I'm putting in the laundry that they're going to have to launder. And then that's soap and chemicals that goes into our water. So I was like, can I bring my own blanket and my own robe? And they said I could. So I'm going to start doing that. So I do. I think about all of that stuff. Because we got to leave the world a better place for our kids. Anyhow, so yeah, I think about the stabilizer that I don't use that I just throw away. To charge my... Yes, Kim, I'll let him know. Good morning, Renata. Renata, I saw the picture you posted of your kitchen sink. And it made me laugh. Who did that? Kim, before I forget, I'm going to go tell Patrick right now while this is stitching. Hopefully, everything gets bedded down. Uh-oh. God. This might take a while. Should I just carry my jump threads? I don't want to do that either. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
We gotta bring my machine for service.
Is it not?
It's like my stitch isn't bedding down and...
Aren't you at like 5 million stitches?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, well, that's probably why.
I know, I know. Renata, was that the deal? Like, she cooked, you cleaned, and then they don't care how many dishes they make? So I really wanted to get around to cutting on my Scan and Cut, and I didn't. Especially when I read April's post, and she had talked about cutting her applique pieces, and Lynn Geldmeyer sent me pieces because she cut the letters that we used in section 1 on her Scan and Cut, and I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Why can I not get started with that? So I need to do that, and I'm so sorry I haven't yet. But I wanted to work on that last night, and I just didn't get around to it. But I will use my Scan and Cut. At least that's what I keep telling myself. I should do it right now, I could hear that. Okay, I just moved my Scan and Cut because I think even small things like just accessibility. over. So I just moved it so it's right next to my machine. I just moved my PQ 1500 over. Okay, I just set it up. Don't judge me by everything messy around here. But here it is. I can be on my machine and touch it at the same time. I think I'm gonna secret sauce some stuff and let's see if we can cut it. Maybe I'll secret sauce and cut some stuff from okay, let's turn it on. Open it up. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness, won't that be magnificent? And then I could just cut as I go. On page 5 of the book, do you have written in the glide colors that go with the symbols? If you do, can you hold it up so we can... I do not have it written in. I've kind of just been writing it in as I go. Autocorrect is killing me. Nora's tacos. I could write it in because I know all the colors. Hang on. Let me do that right now. Let me grab a pen. Okay, so burnt orange is burnt orange. This one is Vegas gold. How am I going to do this? Make sure my pen writes. Vegas gold. Brown is, what is brown? Coffee. This one is coffee. Light taupe is cashmere. I don't know why I have sun-kissed peach for this one. So I don't know if it makes a difference, but there is a peach and there is a sun-kissed peach. I have pulled out sun-kissed peach. Bright pink I have taffy. And this light pink I have pink lemonade. Oh, you know why I have sun-kissed peach? I think that's what was in the bright kit. For lavender I have periwinkle. And purple is mulberry. Light blue gray. That one I think is graphite. Let me just make sure before I write these. Yeah. So this one is graphite. read that. The blue gray is Oxford. And the dark blue is Denim. Green is Mossy. This one is gonna be hard to write it in, but Mossy. Tidewater. Light teal. Knit. Light green is celery. Light yellow is lemon ice. And green is linen. Dark gray is lead gray. Gray is coin. White. And I think that's it. So, here. Hopefully you can see that. And if you want, I'll take a picture of it later and I'll send it out so you know what goes with what. But that should be all of the colors. And that's from the thread set. So if you got the thread set, if there's colors that you want that you don't have, I order from, the thread comes from Cabin Dash. And I order from them probably 2 or 3 times a month. So you can always reach out and I will do a special little deal for you or special order for you. And Glide Thread is really reasonably priced. It's $4.99 a spool. So sometimes it's cheaper just to buy all the colors separately because they charge you a little bit for the plastic case it comes in. So April, when you say, because I like, it's so funny because when people come in and ask questions about Scan and Cut, I will stop them. I'll be like, I'm going to stop you right there. Let me get Michelle. My ears just like closed. So when you say you used the regular blade, did you use the auto blade? Is that the regular blade? So use the thin fabric blade for the fabric that's just like one layer, and then use the auto blade for the fabric that's stabilized with Shape Flex. Oh, what was purple? Purple was... So periwinkle for lavender and mulberry for purple. Almost done. I think I'm gonna go. Oh, my bobbin's almost running out. Let's see if it can just make it through this little bit. Let me grab another bobbin. I'm gonna stop it and change up my bobbin before it runs out. Ooh, I just love my Scan and Cut just sitting there. Like, I don't know if there's things in your life where they're not accessible and so you don't use them. And my Scan and Cut was sitting on like the other cabinet and honestly it had stuff on it. So maybe this will make me use it. Here we go. What's making me want to use it is I see all of you guys using it and I'm like, what's wrong with me? How come I can't do that? I can do that. So, and it looks like it's making their lives easier. I'm going to put my SVGs on a stick right now. I also used Heat and Bond Light on my pieces so I could iron them down and use the black auto blade. I did fabric down on matte mirror image. Oh, I was wondering about that. I was wondering if I could forego the Heat and Bond Light and if I could just do if I could just use the KK100 and spray my pieces down. Do you think that won't work? I'm gonna try it that way because I'm trying to do the lazy girls way. Would you choose the 7x12 or the 7x14? Okay, if I could choose one or the other, I'd choose the 7x12. Just because the magnets are easy to get on and off. You could just pull them up pretty easily. The 7x14, they're heftier, and I think you can kind of pry them up, but you kind of have to use that tool that, you know, kind of like, it's kind of like a little mini crowbar to kind of pry them up. So because I do a lot of embroidery and not as much sashing, I think I would choose this one. However, that being said, when it comes time to do the sashing for this quilt, I'm going to use the 7x14 magnetic. And I mean, maybe I'll be like, no, this is the one. I don't have a lot of experience with it, so that's the other thing. So I don't know if I'm the one to ask, but I know that I use this one all the time and I love it. Oh my goodness, we made it through. And part of me feels like I need to go back and fix that little A right there. So if you ever, because I don't have it, it didn't come on the inside. If you ever need to go back, I am going to go and first I can just touch in here. And there I can see my, where my little cursor is, and it's right at the E. So I'm going to touch a little further because I want to get to the A. Okay, I'm on the A. Let me go. I'm going to do plus 10s. I'm kind of watching where it is on the A. That's too far. I need this part. Oh. There we go. Okay, I think I found it. And I was kind of looking over here too while it was going. Oh, it's just a little bit. All right. I just felt like I needed that. All right. And yeah, Linda, that would look beautiful if you just stitched this out. So, okay, done with that. I'm already hooped up for my other one, so I'm going to just grab my hoop and let's slide it on the machine. This one is my 5x7. Before I slide it on, I'm going to clear my screen though, because this design is bigger than the 5x7. It's going to tell me that the design is too big and to slide the hoop off, so why bother with that? I'm just going to go home. It's going to clear my screen, and now I can slide that hoop on. Or, yeah, let's just go ahead and slide it on. Okay. So we are doing, let's go to my upper USB. We're going to be doing stacked books. So the design we need is time 1, 4x6 vertical. Here's my quilting through the seasons, background quilting, time 1, embroidery files, and 4x6 vertical. So horizontal comes in first and then vertical. So you want this one. Go ahead and set it. And let's add to that. And we are going to be adding stacked books. Let me get back to my folder. Quilting through the seasons, PES. Oh, did you see that? There were my, my SVGs files. You know, once you load this, I can literally just take my USB out and plug it into my scan and cut once it's loaded on the machine. It doesn't have to stay in there while you're stitching. Here's my stacked books set. and it says centered. And I put in linen. So if you look at your instructions on page 24, right here, it's showing you that it wants gray, which is coin. But if you look at the picture here, the quilting they did in like linen or like white. So I really like the way it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same and do the linen instead of the gray that they're showing here. And that's why I wrote that in. But you can do whatever you want. I'm going to touch embroidery. And now I'm going to take this and scoot it all the way up. But before I do that, let's choose our hoop size, which is 5 by 7. And you can see there's not a ton of room there, but you might as well move it up. There we go. You saved yourself like a little inch. It'll probably come out to 2 inches or 4 inches here, 3 and 4 down here or something like that. All right, I'm going to go here to where we can go forward and backward stitches. I have white in there. Let's go ahead and you guys can see it stitching out, right? I'm just going to go ahead and stitch with that in there. Sorry about my thread pulling out. I promise I will take it and go get it serviced so you don't have to deal with that next time. Oh my goodness. Here, I'm just going to start here. This is just placement stitch. Okay, let me grab my goodies. Here's all the stuff I need. So I'm going to give these 2 pieces a spray. And now that you know where I spray, I don't need to show you. All right. Spray the wrong side of your batting, which is the nubbier side. You can kind of look at it and sometimes tell too. And you're going to just lay that down right inside that placement line. And then go ahead and lay down your background fabric too. Just try and center it. I used to do this. I used to fold this in quarters to find the center right here. And then with my finger, I would find the center and then I would open it up and lay it down. So if you feel like you're really bad at eyeballing, you could do something like that. But they give you so much extra fabric and you can kind of feel around and just make sure it's kind of centered where you need it to be. We're going to skip the next 2 steps. The next step is tack down for the batting, placement for your background, tack down for your background. I am going to do this step. And then I have white in there. I am going to change it out to the linen as soon as this is done. Here we go. I'm going to try it April because, number one, because I don't have any heat and bond light here. I have like Misty Fuse and I probably have Steam a Seam light, so I do have other things I could use. But let me just see if that works and then, you know, maybe it'll be fine. But when we did Nativity, we put Hot Fix. Hot Fix was the one that we put on there, and I was just watching because I'm a loser and I haven't done my Scan and Cut class yet, but I was watching Michelle do the Get to Know Your Scan and Cut class, and she was talking about how the only ones that she felt like you could put down on the mat with the adhesive side down was Hot Fix and the Brother applique stuff. So I was like, okay, let me just try it without, and I'm just going to try and spray. But I do need some secret sauce, so maybe I'll mix some of that up right now. It's so cute. It actually, I feel like this just looks like part of the fabric. Like it could just have been printed like that. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll do our applique with the book. So these are going to be, whoops. I know I should be cutting it. Well, I just want to make secret sauce and I don't even have any Cheerio magic here. I think I brought my bottle to the store. So here are your two pieces that you're going to need, and these both should have Shape Flex SF101 on the back. I was just digging through my Scan-A-Cut drawer for my fabric mat. Okay, next step. Now we're done with the quilting, so now we're on to the embroidery, and you can always look here to see what happens next. After quilting, go to the embroidery instructions, and we're going to stitch the top book cover placement line. Color doesn't make a difference, so I always like to go, where will color make a difference? Right here, linen, we already have that in there, so I'm going to leave it. So just go ahead and do your placement line first, and you are grabbing the smaller piece of fabric, because that's the book cover. Go ahead and just give it a shot of spray. And maybe I should practice before, you know, before I do it for you live, right? Because what I imagine is, oh, while it's doing while it's doing the quilting stitch, I could have got, like, just loaded up my machine right there next to me, and we could have cut this piece out, and then we can just do it as we go. So whatever scissors you want to use to trim this, go ahead and trim it. You want to trim close to the stitch line. Let's go ahead. Get this out of the way so I have some room to trim. So cute. Now it says stitch the spine and pages placement line, and then we'll put down this piece of fabric right here. I'm going to give this a shot of spray. Make sure you spray the right side and not the wrong side, meaning the wrong side for this. But the shape flex side and not the fabric side. You kind of know where this is going to go, so you don't really have to do all the stitching, but you can if you want. I'll just go ahead and let it run. Sometimes we do it in our house, Betty, where whoever cooks doesn't have to clean. Like, we'll swap duties. Okay, tack down. And then we're going to stitch the spine in Paige's tack down line and then trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Betty, what are you working on? All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim these. And it would have been nice to have that just cut for me, right? Ready to go. Just slap it down. Okay, so now it's calling for, that was step number, we did the tack down, we trimmed it close. Now we're going to stitch the book cover satin outline and we're going to put cashmere in. So there's the little cover right there. So put in your cashmere thread. That's what came in your kit. And then you're going to put in, the linen's going to go back in, and then the cashmere. So we're going to kind of be swapping back and forth. And this is just going to be stitching. We've got 4 minutes of stitching for the cover. And then a little bit more for the linen, and then for the cover again. So while it's doing this, let me look at what's next. Looks like the house is next, and that's going to go in the same 5x7, so you can't really rehoop that, but you can get your fabric ready. Make sure you have that. House. Oh my God. So I love this fabric. This is like the white with the metallic gold. And they have it with the confetti too, which is going to be like all the different colors, kind of like rainbowy colors. But this is going to be, this is one of Kimberbell's new basics. And I think it's fantastic. And we always put it, I always stitch in order of the sections. So we did all of section 1, even though it bounced around the book a little bit. We did section 1 first so that you could sew it all together. We'll do as much of section 2 as we can in the sew along. I'll probably do some more stitching tonight because I get in the groove. Right, April? You were in the groove and you just got like your whole thing done. So I get in the groove too. And we'll do the house next. Maybe after that we'll do one of the quilted squares, because these are going to be different because you quilt at the end. So these you quilt first and then you do the embroidery. This one you're going to piece it in the hoop. So we'll put down the batting and then we'll do like the little grid on top of the batting, and then we'll skip the quilting, and that happens at the very end. You'll do all the piecing and then quilting at the end once it's all pieced together. That's normally how we do these. And you have to do 4 of these. I think there's 8 altogether. You might as well just do all of them, I think, all at once. And then you're going to have 2 sets of the stripes, because these are going to be in section 3. If I'm recalling that right. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And let's see, what's the wall gallery frames all about? Oh yeah, here are frames, and you are going to need your hook and loop fasteners. So if you haven't cut those yet, you can cut them now. So the loop is the soft stuff, the hook is the rough stuff. And you're going to need 1/2-inch pieces for this. This is 1 inch, so what you'll do is you'll cut 1/2 inch and then cut that in half. And another 1/2 inch and cut that in half. So for the wall gallery, because I don't think I pre-cut mine. For the wall gallery, you're going to need 2 for this one. Else. And cover it in thread and dog hair. Oh, let's put in our next color. You're going to put linen in. And I like to show this one time while I'm stitching. I don't pull back, so don't take this and pull your thread back. You're just going to unthread. Unthread, unthread to right here. There's no tension right there. You can just pull it out at that point. Because I know we're taught not to, some people cut their thread and then grab it at the needle and pull it out, but I just feel like I'm so sorry. For me, that's just wasteful. And it just, I feel like it takes longer. And I never know where my scissors are. So this to me is much easier. Go ahead and you're going to stitch out the satin stitch here, and then we'll do the cashmere one more time for the rest of it. I'm going to count out all the 1/2-inch pieces of loop that you need, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut those. Some of you are already pre-prepped. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah, I think you only need it for wall gallery 1 and wall gallery 2, so you need 4 pieces. It's going to be 6 minutes of applique stitching for that right now. I wonder if this has a good blade in it. I don't know. 1/2 inch or about 1/2 inch. But yeah, that was fine. Hold it down right here so it doesn't move. And then cut each one of these down to 1/2 inch. And there are your 4 pieces that you're going to need. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to leave them right there. We'll see if we can find them. If they're still there when I need them. Hi, Miss Paula. Glad that you're joining us. Sometimes it's nice just to sit and sew, right? You can engage in some silly conversation too. And Lynn, I haven't done the wall gallery, so we'll see. I think I'll do the stripes one and the square one. We'll do that in the 7 by 12. So maybe we'll do, what time is it? It's 11:25. So I think we'll do house and let's do wall gallery 1, and then maybe we'll just do stripes 1, and then you'll get the whole process of when you do the quilting at the end. Work just gets in the way. We should just boycott work. I really like the idea of the 4-day work week that some companies are pushing. When we took over the business, it was actually, or when we started working with Peter, who we bought the business from, we were open 6 days a week, and we were open from 9 till 6. And that was a lot. And that's what Peter did all on his own before we started. And then when the pandemic hit, and we didn't know what was going on, and we were scared to touch, like, you know, the handle of a, like, store door, we closed for, I think, a little while, and then we opened up again. We were just doing, like, drive-through service in our parking lot. Nobody was allowed, like, in the store. It's so funny to think, like, about those days, because it wasn't that long ago. And then we switched. I think that's when we switched to being open only Tuesday through Saturday. So we started closing on Mondays. And it was just me and Patrick working. We told the staff to, like, go on. Did they do unemployment, or I can't remember what we had them do. But for a while, it was just me and Patrick running the show, and it was busy because everyone started sewing. So yeah, I think we started closing on Mondays, and it was only, and it might have been just in the afternoon. Maybe we were open from like 11 to 2. Okay, so then it evolved to being open 10 to 5. But we're really there, no, 10 to 4. Our official hours at the store are 10 to 4, but we're there, people are there at 9 until 5. That's our little secret. But I think, I don't know if I'd be alive if we were doing those hours still. And, because Patrick and I are there almost all the time. Miss Kimberly, are you working on this or what are you working on? All right, you are going to go ahead and put cashmere back in. And that should be step number 12 of 12. Go ahead and take out your linen, put in the cashmere. And I find there's a lot of businesses that are closed on Sunday, Mondays. And that's so it gives us one weekend day and one weekday, a traditional weekday, to kind of get our stuff done. Here we go. Sometimes I like blocks like these that are just like nice and easy. I'm looking at this and going, did I mess up? Because I was trying to figure out when they put the twine under. And I was like, was that supposed to get laid under the fabric? I don't see it. But you're going to be doing that later. You're going to use a large needle and sew the twine from the bottom of the stacked book to the top, then from the top to the bottom, and then again. So that is going to be a later thing. Right here. There's your twine, and doesn't that look so cute like that? So I'm going to put my twine away because I know me, I will lose it. I'm going to put it back in the little bag to be used later on. I thought it was going to get stitched down. Oh, nice, Miss Kimberly. You're going to be early for all your Christmas projects. Whisk was one of my favorites. I still think my favorite is Spring Showers. I just love that one. But I really, really, really loved Falling into Autumn as well. Or Falling for Autumn. I loved that one too. The little squirrels and the sweater and the truck. I just love that one. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think Lynn's doing that too. So you're doing one of her curated classes, her little vinyl bag. And I saw the kids were adorable. So if you're newer to A1, Michelle does she's like our resident bag lady. So she does so many amazing bags. But she'll do these curated classes where she puts together all the fabric for you or the vinyl with like all this cute stuff that she'll pop in there. She's going to get started, in like half an hour? And they always sell out. Her kits always sell out. So just watch for them. Because I think she has some other stuff coming up. Oh my God, Kimberly, you've been busy. I think we need to, I wish there was time. Maybe I'll do it on like a Saturday night. But I'll have to do it early for the East Coasters. But I think I need to do like a UFO, like a sit and sew, because I have, all of my Kimberbell quilts are so close to being done, and I don't know why they're not, but they're not. Okay, that's it. You know what? I'm surprised it didn't like finish that off. But I guess that's just the different edge of that little book. All right, let's go ahead and hoop up. We are going to stitch at the house. And we are done with stacked books. Let's come on over here. Love the fabric for the house. Okay, I'm just going to pop these off. I do get to work. All right, just gonna pop this up, just scoot it up. I use these larger Wonder Clips. I think they're called Jumbo Wonder Clips. They're nice because they're kind of curved. I'm gonna put this here. I like to hoop it so this is like right below. Oop, let's get this on straight too. Were there two little ones on the top, I think? Or was it one big one? I think it's one big one. Okay, gonna slide this onto the machine. Have my fabric over here already. Let's grab this spreadsheet and let's load our design. I'm gonna go home, embroidery, and we are gonna put in time 1 4x6 horizontal. Time 1. So background quilting. And again, mine looks like this because this is my instructor kit, but you do have to purchase that background quilting separately. House, time 1. Here we go. Embroidery files, PES, and I am looking for 4x6 horizontal. That's what comes in first is horizontal and then vertical. And we're gonna add the house. Here are my PES designs. That's what I named it. We're in the base quilt. And here's the house. Let me make sure that's the only house, right? That is it. Working our way through. And that's gonna be centered. So you don't have to do anything, just touch embroidery to combine it. Go to layout, move, and scoot it up. And if you're pre-cutting your stabilizer, you don't have to move it up. Just leave it right in the center. If you're just cutting each piece for every hooping. If you're hooping like I am and you're leaving it like this, then scoot it up because that'll just save you like a little bit. That's all. Or don't scoot it up. Do whatever makes your heart happy. Let's say okay to that. We're going to go in this button where we can go forward and backward stitches. And we are going to do our placement stitch for the batting. And let me see, what's our background fabric? I'm going to choose a different color so I can see. Well, actually, you know what? I have cashmere in that. I'll be able to see the cashmere. Go ahead and grab your batting and your background fabric and spray them both on the back side. I think this one's really easy to see. Can you see how nubby this side is? And then this one is kind of dimpled in. So this is the wrong side. And go ahead and lay this down. Don't spray at your machine if you can help it. Every once in a while you might need to. But for the most part, spray away from the machine. away from your hoops, especially these hoops. Like, these are expensive hoops. You don't want to be getting these all sticky. And then lay this down on top. Feel around, make sure you're covering the whole thing. Mine feels good. And we're gonna skip some steps. We're gonna skip the tack down for the batting if you've cut it to size. If you haven't, then you're gonna do this and trim. We're gonna skip the placement stitch for the background, and we are gonna do that, which is the tack down. Here we go. Oh, Renata's going to a sew-and sale. Get to cruise and play with embroidery machines along designs by Juju. So is this a Juju thing? That sounds fantastic. I've always wanted to do one of those. I've always wanted to do a cruise, but that is not Patrick's thing. Okay, this is on page 30. Let's turn to page 30. I want to see what they use. They're recommending for the quilting linen. Let's look at their picture. Yeah, they just did it in a color that blended. You can't even see it. It's up to you. If you want to go ahead and do a different color, you could just keep the cashmere in. I am not a rule breaker. I'm a follower. So I'm just going to put in the linen. I mean, I did do a different color on the other one, but that's because that's what they showed in the picture. And I saw it and I went, ooh, that looks good, so I'm going to do it too. But this one, there's no picture for me to look at to make sure it's looking good. I should probably do like this gold. Don't you think the gold would have been really pretty? When I got mine set up to use the 5x7, it says oh, okay, so Leslie, most likely, do you have a design on your screen? So take your hoop off, clear your screen. Otherwise, you could have, if it's telling you your design could be one click outside of your embroidered, like the box. So you could just take that design and go to move and just bump it down one. Because maybe it's too far to the left, too far to the right, or too far up. So bump it down a little bit. Just use your, I'm not in that screen, but you're gonna go to your move and just click one down and see if that does it for you. And let me know. And if that's not it, let's troubleshoot more. But you shouldn't have to go to a larger frame. What's the point, right? You can't see this at all. I wish I'd done a color. Should we stop it and stitch over it? I'm just gonna leave it, but maybe a color would have been better. That's why that box, that's why the reason I have you select your 5x7 or whatever size hoop, I have you select that so that you can see if you go outside of your embroidery field. That's the biggest reason. Oh, yay! It looks like a bunch of you are going to be in Michelle's class. Betty, are you doing the mini quilts? I still, see, this is me. I still haven't finished my table toppers. I have to do November and December, but that was like in the middle of my chemo and I just couldn't. It was just too much for me. It's gonna go on the shelf of good intentions. I want to do a sew-in sale with you guys sometime. When I'm retired, I'm going to do everything. Okay, let's see. We are ready to do our embroidery now. So it says load the roof placement line. That's already up there. I'm going to do a color that you can see. Let's see, but nothing that's too dark. How about we just go ahead and we do the cashmere? And that way we can see it. Because a lot of this is going to be placement, tack down, trim. Placement, tack down, trim. Okay, and our roof is going to be, let's see, roof is the 4x3. This is going to be your roof. So it's this fabric, but it's going to be this one, the 4x3. That's a little bit, not hot dog bun, but hamburger bun. I said that in a class the other day, and I learned that from a class, I think. And they were like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. So you want a fat hot hamburger bun, not the skinny long hot dog bun. Okay, let's go ahead and lay this down. Check underneath, make sure it has covered every direction. I just give it a little shot of spray. It's my favorite. I'm not a taper, although I do tape sometimes. And then we're going to go ahead and trim. And you want to trim it close to the stitch line. Wouldn't that be so much fun if we were all on a cruise together? Just staying up all night, sewing, eating all you could eat. I bet they have onion rings. Although I'm trying not to indulge in all of that. After Patrick and I went out for dinner last night, and then afterwards he's like, should we get ice cream? And we decided no. And then we went out for his mom's birthday, her 80th birthday, and we didn't get dessert either. I don't know about all tumors, but my doctor said sugar feeds the tumor. So I'm trying not to feed it, even though it's gone. Okay, here's your fabric for the house. Go ahead and give it a little shot of spray. I did not grow up eating a lot of sugar. My parents didn't buy anything sweet, except every once in a while they might buy some orange sherbet. That was it. That was like the big treat. But we ate tons of fruit. And my family would buy fruit by the bushel. Like we would go. We grew up in Connecticut, and there was, I don't even know how my mom found it. But you used to be able to go to like this place where you bought the fruit off the dock. Like, I mean, it was a trucking dock, not like an ocean dock. But, and she would buy like the whole box and by the bushel. And so, I never had a sweet tooth until I met Patrick. Because he loves sweets. And now I love sweets too. My sweet tooth might be even worse than his at this point. Okay, are we trimming this? Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. This is step number 4 if you're looking at your book. I wanted a little more heft just because there's shape flex on the back of these. So I'm using my double curved scissors. These are my Femoris. Let me get my filming arm out of the way so I'm not hitting it so much. These are the, I think they're, I don't know if they're 4.5 inches or they're 4 inches. But, you want double curve because you get the first curve that goes over the edge of the hoop and the second curve that goes away from your fabric and gets you closer to your, when you're trimming. Okay, next step. We are in step number 5, stitch the window placement line. Window placement line. And your window fabric is going to be this gorgeous piece. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. But now I could eat dessert all day, every day. I just love it. I love cake and pie. You know what I don't like? Chocolate chip cookies. Not my favorite. Well, I do love chocolate. Oh, look it. So it didn't bed down for this, but it did for this. I can see where the stitch was supposed to be, so I'm just going to cover that whole thing. I like chocolate chip cookies with like... I do like chocolate chip cookies. Not with a ton of chocolate chips, but I like it with oatmeal, and like I like oatmeal chocolate chip, and I like it with coconut. Am I making you guys hungry? Are we all gonna like run out and have stuff our face with sugary sweets? It's like lunchtime. I must be hungry. I'm so happy, Betty. Like my stuff, I have a lot of stuff, especially like being in our business, because I see all like the new fun stuff coming out, and it goes on the shelf of good intentions. Like classes, I see so many things where I'm like, I want to teach that class. I get everything for it, and then we don't get around to it. So I work right now. What I do with classes is I'll work on like 2 at a time. So right now we just did, that doesn't count Kimberbell stuff or like digital dealer stuff because we just do that on schedule. But my next 2 classes will be the poppy, the little summer tea towel that we're going to be doing in IQ, and then I'm also going to be doing a best at Kimberbell, and it's, I think home is where I hang my heart. I have all the kits. I just have to get the project done. After that, we're going to do a serger project. And just like a garment. That'll be really fun too. Here are my little windows. But I try not to get too much. Because I have made that mistake of just getting everything and then we just don't get to it. Okay. So we just did this step right here. I love that they have the pictures. I love that Kimberbell, to me, their directions are fantastic. So I like that they have instructions and the picture that goes with it. Instructions and the picture that goes with it. So we just did this where we trimmed. Now we're going to do some satin stitching, and it wants linen first. So go ahead and we're going to do linen, cashmere, lemon ice, and mossy. So those are the colors that are going to be coming up next. And I do write them in. I can't remember when I wrote them in. I think when I was going through and figuring out, putting it all on the spreadsheet. If you look at your spreadsheet, for that section, I'll write it in here too. Glide colors used for this embroidery, and I'll just list the ones that are all going to be in this section. Is everyone doing spring cleaning around their houses? We just had our yard cleaned up. Oh my God. Patrick and I went to Home Depot yesterday. We were so useless in there. I know some of you, that's your home away from home. Okay, this is number 7. Stitch the window detail. It's a 27-minute stitch out. We are 8 minutes in, or at least I am 8 minutes into the stitch out. Ooh. I want to do it. I want to do one of these. I want to do this fun stuff you guys are doing. I want to go on these trips. Ooh, food and drink. And I love, is it buffet style? I love buffets. I definitely get jealous of other people's food. And it's not like I need like a huge meal, but like I want just a little bite of everything. Or do you order meals? Like, do you order a meal and they bring you a meal, or do you like, is it buffet style? Okay, now you're gonna stitch the roof detail and the house chimney roof and window satin outline. Go ahead and put your cashmere in. Yeah, but then I see some nightmare pictures of cruises and I go, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And it seems like there's always like an outbreak of norovirus. I think that's what Patrick sees and he's like, I don't want that. And plus, what's Patrick going to do on a cruise? Bermuda, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, and some other ports. Oh my God. Lynn, I want to be a gardener. But only in mind, not like in any other way. Look how cute that roof looks. Adorable. I don't even know. I feel like useless with a garden. I don't even know how to plant because I have like some planters. Okay. So we put some planters on our patio. But literally last year, I caught Poppy in there, and she is full on just dirt is flying across the patio, and she's got her paws in there digging as hard and as deep as she can. So we don't have, I don't know if I don't know how to keep her out of there. Because sometimes I need to just be able to open up the door and let her out, and she's trouble. Tomato, celery, and dragon fruit. Oh my God, I didn't know you could grow dragon fruit. I didn't think about that, Lynn. I do not like open water. And I get queasy too. Okay, look how cute this house is looking. It's adorable. After we stitch the satin trim of the rest of the house, we're gonna switch to lemon ice. and we're gonna do the flower fill. And lemon ice is gonna be your light yellow. That's the light yellow that came in the kit. Everyone needs lemon ice. Look how sweet it is. Betty, where do you live? So, I'm from Connecticut, and my parents would always have an amazing garden, and they would have problems too with like woodchucks and all sorts of stuff eating their veggies. So one day, and please don't think my parents are horrible. One day, my mom, I think, cornered a woodchuck, and underneath the we have this like crawl area underneath their patio, and she's telling me this. She sprayed him with Raid, which I was so horrified to hear. And like, I don't think my parents knew there's like other options. So after that, I bought them like a Have-A-Heart. But I mean, the Have-A-Heart's not great either, because then what do you do with it? So my parents started. There's like a park that they would catch them in the Have-A-Heart, and they would go to this park, and they would let the animals go over there. But they would always tell me about all this stuff they caught. Like my dad caught a skunk. I was like, how are you going to get the skunk out of the Have-A-Heart? And they said this skunk was so cute. But I was like, you can't really take him to the park either, because there's houses near that park. And, but they didn't want to kill him anymore. But yeah, they would battle the animals there too. Southern Middle Tennessee. Because we had a ton of deer. I never really saw deer, but we would see all the other animals. Betty, I saw dragon fruit the other day at Costco. If you want to try it. Look how cute that is. Is the roof detail cashmere? The roof detail, if you mean what just stitched out, yes. That little scallop is going to be cashmere. And if you're talking about step number 8 is cashmere. Here, I wrote it in if you want to see it again. Number 8 is cashmere. Number 9 is lemon ice. Number 10 is mossy. And then we're even going to have celery in there too. The windjammer. And I think this might be the last of it. Just going around this window. So get your lemon ice ready. And it looks like about 10 more minutes of stitching. All right, take out your thread. Let's change it out. Let's get in our lemon ice. I wish Patrick loved to garden. That would be perfect. Because then I could just tell him what I wanted him to plant. And then I could just boss him around in the garden. And I could say, see that plant? That plant looks really thirsty. You better get out there and water it. And then he would run out and do it, but I don't know. He keeps telling me that when we're retired, that he's gonna garden, but I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, lemon ice. Now go ahead and put in your mossy. That's that like darker green. I don't know, maybe that's something he and I can do together when we retire someday. One of our customers, Heather Mundy, Secretary Mundy, you see her on our live feeds. She and her husband have the most incredible garden. I've never seen it. They've told me about it. They've brought us some stuff from it, and it just sounds amazing. But I think you gotta love it, right? I think people that garden love it. It's like part of them. So is it a cruise that's set up by Juju, and then you have like special educators that are going to be there, Renata? And then how does it work with machines? Do they have them all set up for you? Okay, get your celery ready. That's going to be next. That's going to be this green, or whatever green you want to use that matches this. Oh, and you know what else you need for this is you need your black embroidery leather. I'm gonna look at my, oh God. I'm looking at my, see what I have in here. I have so much. I imagine this piece will work. I don't even know what that's from. Okay, change out your thread. We're putting in celery. Love the detail on the roof. It is very cute. The little scallops, little scallop stitching. Okay, I'm not in love with the background quilting. I really think it needed something else. So if you haven't done it yet, maybe you want to consider picking a color for that. because you can't see it at all. Okay, color doesn't matter for the next step. The next step, what they want you to do is it's step 12. Stitch the porch and planter placement line. Place the porch and planter fabric right side up. You're going to do the tack down and then you're going to trim. So you should have a piece of fabric like this. This was the long and skinny piece of that like cashmere. I'm just going to go ahead and hit start and let it do the placement line. Let me give this a little shot of spray. Thanks for joining, Miss Linda. We'll see you later. Okay, tack it down. And then you're going to trim. And then you need cashmere. We're going to do the satin stitch with cashmere. Go. Move this over here. All right, cashmere. It's going to satin stitch around that porch and the windowsill. I'm going to take out my celery. I think that was the first time I used my celery. So how does celery grow? Like, is that pretty easy? Was it, Renata, was it you that was saying that you're going to grow celery? go. This is step number 14. And then we're going to be doing the door, the leather door. So we're getting close. We're at about 20 minutes of stitching with 7 more minutes of stitching to go. Idea about SF101 taking color. I would think it would probably would. Okay, scan and cut people, which blade is this? And how do I know? Is this stuff all color coordinated? Should I do a little spreadsheet so I know? I gotta make sure I have an auto blade and my fabric blade. You're going to put black in after this. We're going to do the door. Oh, it looks like there's a bunch of detail on the house too that this is going to stitch right now. The beige is the fabric blade. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna have to go through my drawer and see if I have that auto blade. This is me not knowing anything. All right, let's go ahead and put black in now. We are in step number 15. And this is going to be the door placement line. Place the door leather right side up. Let's see how big it is because I have so much black leather. I don't know what kits these are from, but there's a lot here. Should I go sideways or should I go up and down or should I go, we'll just do it this way. I'm gonna give it a little shot of spray. And when you spray the leather, sometimes it's kind of sweats through to the front. Not a big deal. So don't go crazy with your spray. And this you are going to trim. I may as well just stick it right in the center. It's not like we're going to be able to do much with this afterwards. What was I going to say to you? I don't even remember. Did I tell you we were going to trim it as desired? So get your curved straight scissors. Anytime I see trim as desired, these are the ones that I use. Because if you do these, they put like little smileys, like they cut like that. So you want curved straight. And I like to cut probably about 1/8 of an inch. I think the directions say this is a raw edge applique, will not have additional covered stitches. So about 1/8 of an inch to me looks nice. Take your time and make it gorgeous. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And there we go. And that's trimmed up and ready. And mine's not perfect. It is a little wonky here on that top. I'm going to fix that. Have that be a little bit. There we go. Okay, go ahead and hit start. It's going to do black on this like peaked area. This is the gable. Boy, I always wondered what a gable was. I never knew. And then you're going to need lemon ice again. We're going to do lemon ice for the door handle, and then linen, and then we're done. about it. I didn't know that it was so easy. The DX blade holders are auto blade. Got it. And look how cute this house is. I love the colors. Wall gallery 1. So I'll go ahead and we can hoop that up. We can hoop up wall gallery. Let me take out the black. We're going to put in lemon ice. Some thread away. My lemon ice makes you think lemon icy, or it makes me think lemon icy. Patrick and I buy I forget who makes them, but they sell lemon ice, like little cups, and oh, they're so yummy. Okay, now we're going to do the outline of the door, and that is going to be in linen. And while it's stitching that, I'm going to hoop up my 7x12 hoop, and we're going to hoop up for the wall gallery 1. So let's do wall gallery 1. Hopefully we can get through that. And then I'd like to do either the stripe or the square, the one that's pieced in the hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and let this stitch out. I think they're 6x6. So I'm just going to pull out my magnets. And let's just scoot it up. And that one was done. It just finished up. But I'm going to get ready to do this one. And we'll scoot it up. We'll put our first set of magnets on. I think I have 2 little ones on the top. One of these on the side. Pull this over here so it's nice and taut. Oop, that's a bottom one. Maybe I need to unfold this one more time. Okay. And I have my other embroidery. We'll cut this off once we have another one done. So I always leave one on. I'm going to slide this onto the machine. Here's our house. Looking so cute. Here's stacked books. And here's the house. Sliding on my other hoop. And then there's the fabric we need for wall gallery section 2. You're going to need your embellishment kit as well because there are some, I think it has the mirror fabric in there. Let me see if I can find mine. And some other embellishments. Oh, here's my stuff right here. Oh, and I think we also need 2 of these. So these are the loops that I cut just a minute ago. I'm going to put it on top of my machine. So hopefully I don't lose it. And then for this, what page is it? Wild Gallery 1 is page 38. So I try to put all the important information on the spreadsheet, so you don't have to go flipping back and forth in search of stuff. So we need the mirror fabric and the gold mylar, the mirror top. So here's my gold mylar right here. And I wonder where the mirror fabric is. Ooh, here's our mirror fabric, which is this just... No, it does look a little bit different. It doesn't quite... I was going to say, is it just silver leather? But I don't think it is. Ooh, it is super mirror-y. I know that's not a word. But look at that. It's like Funhouse. See the reflection? Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm going to grab these 2 things and put this away so I don't lose it. It's my superpower, you know, is misplacing stuff. And I think we are ready. So let's go on over to the machine. No bathroom breaks here. When there's a lot of stitching, that's your chance to go. I just keep going. All right, hang on. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I don't think... I just felt bad. When my mom told me that she sprayed the woodchuck with Raid, I was like, oh my goodness. But they didn't know there were things like have a heart or anything like that. I think you're supposed to like have a heart and then drown them is like what you're supposed to do, which I couldn't do that. I think I will just let the animals eat my garden if we have a garden someday. They're just so cute. Okay. I know you don't think they're cute when they're eating your garden stuff, but we're going to go into background quilting, and I am star 6 by 8, this one right here. So we're going to go 6 by 8 set. You can see the outline of my 5 by 7 hoop. We have the bigger hoop in now, so I'm going to go back to settings, and I'm going to choose my 7 by 12. Because the design is 6 by 6 or 6 by 8, but when you add the quilting, it makes it 6.5 by 8.5, and that's why it bumps you. A lot of these will bump you into a bigger hoop, so you need that extra inch. When you use this hoop, it blocks out the top 2 speeds. That's why those are grayed out. So for these magnetic hoops, you can only stitch at 800 stitches per minute. So just go as fast as you can. We want to add the next design, and it's centered, so we're just going to go back to your pocket, whatever USB you're in, and Quilting Through the Seasons, PES, base quilt. And I am looking for this one right here. So it has 2 mirrors, one on the top, this one right here. But just check. Make sure that looks like the right one. I'm going to go ahead and set it. Yes, that is the right one. And it doesn't say anything about, they come in centered, so just leave it exactly the way it is. Go to Embroidery. This is where we go forward and backward stitches, and we are ready to go. Here's all my goodies. I'm going to spray my batting, and I think this is coconut cream, so make sure you spray the right side, which is the wrong side, the shape flex side. I've got cream in there. I want a different color so that we can see it. How about when I'm using something like coconut cream, I don't want anything too dark, so I'll just go ahead and put in this. This is Sun-Kissed Peach, and it's so pretty. I would be the most boring color name picker. I would be like, this is peach, This is light peach. So I really appreciate when they come up with adorable names. Okay. This is placement stitch for your batting. And go ahead and spray your batting and your background fabric. Oh, did you see that? I didn't bump it up. And that, like, there's a lot of, I mean, it's whatever, 2 inches. But I can't do it. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, which is stitch 0. You can't move your design if you're not at stitch 0. Layout, move, and let's just bump it up. I'm going to say okay. And I don't have to stitch out the whole thing. Just the top where it's going, and then I'll just lay down my, I'm just going to do that top line. And then I have my side lines. I'm just going to cut. And I'm just going to lay down my batting to that top line and my side lines. Okay. And I sprayed my other fabric. I'm just going to lay this down, centered to this fabric. Make sure that I'm down low enough. That looks good. Just going to go ahead and press it down. Now, I didn't finish stitching that whole first stitch out, so I'm going to have to fast forward. And that's my placement. Now I'm on the tack down for my batting, which I don't need. Placement for my background and tack down for my background, which I do need. Let's go ahead and stitch it. I call this tickling my fabric when I just do this, just to make sure it doesn't pucker, that everything is laying down smoothly. And then we're going to do the quilting. And the quilting's supposed to be in linen, and I will change out my thread for this. I'm going to put my linen thread in. Wow, 6 minutes of stitching for this background quilting. 29 minutes for the whole thing. Of course, that always takes longer because you have to place stuff and trim it. And here we go. So here we go. This is what they say. After quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. Use matching quilting designs for the wall gallery 1 through 4 blocks. If you use the clear blue tile method to quilt the wall gallery in 1 block, use the same quilting design for gallery 2 through 4 instead of the listed quilting designs. Interesting. Okay. Centered. Applique. This is block to block. So after quilting, so we will go into our quilting instructions, and we're just going to start doing all of this. Place the oval portrait fabric right side up, which looks like black. All right. So here are our applique fabrics, and then we're going to be using some of that specialty stuff. Pretty quilting, elegant. Looks like, it looks elegant to me. It reminds me of, our house in Salt Lake has, I think it's original wallpaper. And it's so beautiful. It's been painted over white, but, and so it just looks embossed, but it reminds me of this. Just really elegant. I'm gonna have to take all my Kimberbell stuff and decorate the kids' house. We'll have to put Quilting Through the Seasons up at the kids' house. Okay. You can just leave that color in if you want. It says stitch the oval portrait placement line. I'm just gonna hit start. And then you're going to place the oval portrait fabric, which is going to be the back black fabric. So I'm going to give this one a little shot of spray. Let's go ahead and lay that down. And then do our tack down. Number 2, stitch the oval portrait tack down line and trim the fabric close to the stitch line. There we go. Now stitch the oval fabric placement line. So this is going to be for the frame. And quite honestly, we know that this is going to be centered to this. I'm going to skip this step. Here's my placement line. There's my tack down. And I'm just going to center this piece of paper, piece of fabric to this. Because why do a step if we don't have to? So I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down centered over this. Centered. Centered. That looks good. Thread doesn't make a difference. If you feel like that's too risky, go ahead and do your placement line. I totally get it. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line, trim inside of the frame, being careful to only cut the frame fabric, so don't cut the black fabric underneath. Thanks, Katharina. I know, I was just sitting here kind of daydreaming, like, should I go have something to eat and then just keep stitching? Which I think I'm gonna do. It's nice to get something done, right? And if you put this time aside for yourself, just promise yourself a little bit of time. Yesterday I went hiking with my girlfriends, and they're so good because they know I don't like to do physical activity. But they just like stay on top of me. They're like, come on! Here we go. I'm going to try and get in here. Go ahead and cut a little bit and just peek underneath. Just make sure, number one, that you're through all your layers, and make sure you're not cutting into anything else. So, sorry, I know you don't have a good view there. There we go. That's what it should look like. And now, so we just went ahead and finished step number 4, trimming it out. Stitch the mirror top placement line and place the mirror top mylar, and then you're going to stitch. So we're going to do this. There's the mylar. So let's do that next. Again, looks like color does not make a difference still, so just go ahead and you can leave that color in there. This is the top placement line. I have some gold mylar in here. Is this different? What do you think? Yeah, this one looks more gold. I'm going to use that one. I was just pulling that out of my stash. Ooh, you get a lot of mylar here. Okay, color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to place this down. I can see it right there. So it's kind of hard to see, so. And you can tape it down if you want. And you know what? Sorry about that. Color does make a difference, and it did want me to use cashmere. I used the linen. I'm just going to leave it because I didn't change it, and it's doing a whole bunch of stitching. So mine is going to be linen, but yours should have been cashmere. And sorry about that. Color didn't make a difference for the placement line, but it did make a difference for this stitch down. That's way too many stitches for me to pull out at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it, and mine will just be a little bit lighter. But it'll still be gorgeous. Okay, so I'm leaving that. And now we are on step number 7, stitch the mirror top satin outline. And I am going to definitely put my cashmere in right now. Well, you know, I'm super imperfect. And usually I do something wrong, and I wasn't looking at the screen. I don't know if anyone was warning me. So let me put my cashmere in. Could you even see that? I don't even know if I had the camera aimed where it was supposed to be. Then we're going to stitch the mirror placement line. I'm going to leave cashmere in. This is step number 8. Color does not make a difference, but get your mirror fabric ready to go. And it says it recommends we recommend using a new needle to prevent damage to the mirror fabric. So let's go ahead and grab a new needle. And I always say bigger needle, bigger hole. If they're worried about this maybe perforating too much or damaging the fabric, I'd go 75-11. Like, don't do like a 90-14. I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave my cashmere in there because color doesn't make a difference. But let's go ahead and we'll take out this needle. If I can find my hoop screwdriver, which I feel like it fell on the floor or something, and I told myself I would pick it up later. Where are you? I don't know where it is. I will use a regular screwdriver if I can find one. I don't know where a single screwdriver is. Hang on. Think, Jeannie. That's the one I use for everything. Oh my goodness. I do. I remember it falling and thinking I should get that now. I'm using this, which is honestly, it's like a fabric clip that we use at the store. I'm going to put this up here, and we're going to get a brand new 7511. Or you could do a Microtex, or you could do a 7010. Be OCD. I want you to like really make sure it's all the way up there. Tighten that with your hand, and then a little bit tighter with your screwdriver. Or your fabric clip if you can't find that. I probably have like 100 screwdrivers in my room. Okay. We are going to do the placement line first. Stitch the mirror plate. Oh, I did that. We're going to lay this down, and now we're going to stitch the mirror tack down line. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So I'm just going to go a little bit over on all sides. You want to go over enough so you have room to trim. And here we go. This is pretty thick, so I'm not even going to, I'm not going to spray it down or anything. I'm just going to let it stitch. And since it's so beefy, I'm going to use my double curve to trim. This stuff is fantastic. Love it. It's like Funhouse. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this. You want to trim it close to the stitch. Sometimes just holding your fabric up makes a huge difference too in allowing you to get really close to that stitch too. So, whoops, that was a little too close. I think I might have cut some of those stitches. But you are going to be satin stitching around this as well. So if you cut a stitch or two, don't worry about it. But try to cut close to the stitch, but not quite at the stitch. Hang on. Slide this down. There we go. Funhouse mirror fabric is down. When you put this back on, fluff that back fabric. Make sure it doesn't get curled under. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love that. Next step is step number 10, and it says stitch the oval frame inner satin outline, and it wants you to put in the light gray, which is called coin. So I'm going to grab that. It's right here. Let me put that in. Coin. And then you're going to stitch the flower detail, which is going to be in linen. That's going to go on the inside. Renata, that's funny. I like that. The dishes are looking at me dirty again. Sometimes we'll leave dirty dishes in the sink and do them in the morning. I'm just so tired at night, and then I'll wake up feeling like, well, okay, that's a lie. I feel tired in the morning too. But once I'm up, then I'm more ready to get after it. Oh my goodness, wall gallery 2 is so easy. It looks like it is just fabric and you're just stitching the little loops on. Wall gallery 3 has a frame on it and wall gallery 4 has a frame on it too. Okay, change out to your linen. We're a little more than halfway through with this embroidery. I could see this being really fun to have if you have like kids, and then you could go, okay, it's time to change out our embellishments. They could put up the embellishments for the season. I would have loved this. The other thing is I loved my Barbie dolls. And this would have been fun, like if you had a wall for your Barbie doll. Like I had a little travel case, and it would have been fun to have like decorated or something like that. . think I have one more fabric kit at the store, Susan. But I can still get them too, so just let me know and I'll check and see if I have it there. I'll hold it. If not, I can order you one. And I definitely have the embellishment kits at the store. So yes. The answer is maybe and yes. And I can get it. Okay, we are going to put in Vegas gold. Grab that. And then coin will go back in. Oh, because there's a gorgeous decorative outline stitch to this frame. Look how cool it is. Isn't that neat? I'm going to do that next. And then we'll have to put the frame around the mirror. No worries, Miss Susan. Okay, this outline makes the flower, doesn't it? Like, the white flower just looked kind of like a blob, but now with this outline, it just looks gorgeous. Okay, we're going to put in coin. Coin, beautiful coin. Okay, that looks gorgeous. That's just that stitch on the inside of the satin stitch. Just little details like that. Love that. And now it's going to do the outer satin stitch. This is 5 5 minutes of stitching. I've just been sitting here enjoying myself watching the machine stitch. I really should be like clean it up, putting together kids. It's been a relaxing day of stitching with you. Okay, your homework is gonna be to finish up and stitch together section 2. So you have quite a bit to do. We've gone through and we'll have done 4 of the embroideries, and wall gallery 2 is going to take you like 2 seconds. And then we have to do the rest of these. I would go ahead when you're stitching out stripes, just stitch out 2 of them, and when you're stitching out the squares, just to stitch out all of them. Yeah, I think I'm just going to run these down in a row and just do them in the 7x12s, like both of these, because they'll end up being 6.5 by 6.5 with the quilting stitch. So, oh, look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous already? Okay, just keep stitching this out. I'm going to make myself feel not so worthless by just sitting here and watching the machine stitch out. It's just so mesmerizing after all these years. Sometimes I just love just watching the machine stitch. So when you went to add on the seasonal portrait, are you talking about one of the embellishments? Because it looks like, are you saying that because it like goes over? So it looks like it's a little bit oversized and that it hangs over into the other side anyways. So I don't think that was you. Is that what you mean? I think you probably, Susan, you are perfect. You trimmed it perfectly. This is really cute. I love this frame. After it's done with that, you are going to put your Vegas gold back in and you're going to stitch the mirror satin outline in detail. Okay, let's Vegas gold it, and I think we have 3 more embroidery steps left. Let's put in our Vegas gold. And then we're going to be putting on the little hoops, not hoops, the little loops. So find those. If you don't know where they are, I put mine on top of my machine so I know exactly where they are, which is so rare. I usually don't know where anything is. Yes, Susan, I think they're supposed to hang over. Like if you look at this one totally hangs over into the next block, and this one, whatever that is, goes down too. So I don't think that was you. I think that was planned. Oh, that looks so good. I just love a gold mirror. If you had asked me like a decade ago, I would have been like, ooh, no, I don't like gold. But I just love gold now. I find my tastes just change and evolve. For a while, I liked very modern furniture, modern everything. And lately, I've just been loving everything boho. So it looks like wall gallery 2, gallery 3, and gallery 4, all of those fit into the 5x7. So I'll be switching over to the other, my other hoop, and then the stripes and the square blocks, we'll do those in the 7x12. gorgeous. I love it. That is so cute. I love the mirrored fabric. So much fun. Okay, what's it stitching on the top? So this is Marisa outline and detail. All right, last thing we're gonna do. Look at Patrick sending me notes. Tell Patrick, because I can't get to my computer. If anyone could type in there, tell him I'm almost done. Or maybe he's listening to me. I'm almost done, Patrick. Okay. We're going to do step 15 and 16. I'm not using the glue. It says to glue this down. So this is my placement line. Whoops. You know what? It did want it to be in white, but whatever. Keep an eye out for where it just did that, because that is where you're going to put down your, you're going to be putting down your loop part of your Velcro. I'm going to use my stiletto here. This is the tulip pink one, which I really like because it like hides it in here, and then you can take it out and screw it on the other side. Now you're just going to grab this piece, and it sews it on like a little sunburst. So once it's done stitching, you can, I mean, it's fine, but for me, I'm like, I'm not going to use fabric glue. No. Okay, see? It just starts stitching it down, and then you're good. And it doesn't have to be sewn on there perfectly. Something's going to go over it. Stop it so you can get the other one down. So I hit my start stop. I'm going to get this one down right here. You can tell that where the needle is, it's going to start stitching in that lower part. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hold it down right here. And let's stitch it down. And once it stitches down a little bit, you can just move this out of the way. There. And there it goes, sewing on your little starburst. So don't worry about having to glue it down. And the last step, you're not stitching. It's one of those, do not stitch this step. Why do they put it in there? I have no idea. But we are done with, this is Wall Gallery 1. Isn't that so cute? And it'll be fun to put those little embellishments on. And we are going to be done. So, thank you so much for joining me. This will automatically just upload onto YouTube. And then when I get back from lunch, I'm going to go ahead and do some more stitching because I'm in the mood. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow from the store. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.